This is my portfolio website. I built it to market myself to potential recruiters. But just putting up the site doesn't give me enough information on who is visiting. How many hits am I getting per day? Where do they come from? How do the users behave on the website? Are users taking the desired actions on the website? So for example, are they clicking on these links to learn more about me? What are the devices they're using on my website? And what locations are they visiting from? All this information will help me track who is viewing my portfolio. I can apply to jobs and then track whether recruiters from those companies are checking me out. So let's get started and find out how to set up Google Analytics. So head over to google.com/analytics and then sign in to create an account. So as you can see, I've now signed in and it's showing my website because it's being tracked under analytics, but you won't have this yet. What you're going to have to do first, right off the bat, is create a property. A property represents your website or app and is the collection point in analytics for the data from your site or app. So if you see this tracking ID, this is what your website gets attached to. Set up the property and identify the website which you want to link to, and you're almost done now. Now that I've created the property, I need to add some code to my website to ensure that this website is now tracked by Google Analytics. This is the only technical part of the process so far. If you can't do this or don't have access to the code, get the engineer in your team to do it. So you go to the tracking info under JS, you look at the tracking code, and it gives you this script right here. So you copy the script and then paste it into the head of your HTML document. Now, this is where I pasted it into, and just by doing that, I'm now analytics ready. Now, before we jump into reporting, let's talk a little bit about goals. Goals measure how well your site or app fulfills your target business objectives. A goal represents a completed activity called a conversion that contributes to the success of your business. Examples of goals include making a purchase for an e-commerce site or completing a game level for a mobile gaming app. With my website, for example, I was really interested in engagement or the pages per screen because I really wanted to see how many screens recruiters were viewing. So let's say you have an e-commerce website and you want to track revenue, or so for example, when an order is placed. And you use that by setting a destination as a type. What that means is that when after you buy something and you redirect your browser to thankyou.html, that is an indication of success. So you can save this goal and you are now set up with a goal. Now that we're all set up, let's go ahead and check out the reporting dashboard. So this is what the dashboard looks like. Now Google has an ABC framework, which we're going to get into shortly. It's called acquisition, behavior, and conversions. Acquisition talks about how to acquire users, how many, and from where. Behavior, how do users behave in your website? And conversions talk about, do users take the desired actions on the site, tying back to the goals you set previously. Acquisition dashboard tells us where our users come from. So for example, on my site, you can see that almost 50% of the sessions are referrals, where I've had 308 users come through referral, and the rest through organic search, direct, and social. So what I can do is I can actually click into one of these items like social and actually see which different social media channels are coming from. So I had posted my portfolio on Reddit, so I had a lot of people come from there. And as you can see, like this is the new goal we created. So this data is inaccurate, but this also shows you how whether you've met that required goal you've set through that channel. This is a good way of tracking the performance of your different campaigns in order to determine which one is the most appropriate. What your behavior dashboard looks like. The whole idea of this is to track how your user progresses through your website and where the drop-offs lie. So for example, if you have an e-commerce website, if you have a lot of drop-offs in your product description page, maybe that's where you need to tweak your design. This is the first landing page, and from the landing page, as you can see, most people end up dropping off and very few people actually end up clicking on the actual items. So maybe I need to find a more direct way to get them to click on those items. And the third and last one, which is conversions. Now, conversions just talks about how you've met the goals you set previously. Now, because I just set that goal, I don't actually have anything here. But this data actually gives you helps you track whether you're meeting your business objectives. These are the three basic functions. So you have acquisition, you have behavior, and conversions. There's a lot more details which I can get into, but it's outside the scope of these videos today. So I hope this has been a good introduction for you on how to set up and use Google Analytics.